Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this October the 23rd, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Monday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Monday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about your forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday. Also, we're going to take a look at Hurricane Tammy and some computer model runs guidance to see which way this storm is going to be heading. Also, we're going to take a look at newly formed Tropical Depression 21, as I talked about this afternoon. Said it should become Tropical Depression 21. I don't think it's going to become Vince because it's almost near land, but it did become a Tropical Depression, as I stated in earlier forecasts today and also yesterday as well. And also, we're going to take a look at the Watches Warning Advisory map for your location across the nation because we got a winter storm going on up toward Montana, Idaho, and also up toward the Dakotas as well, and also toward Washington and Oregon states as well. We'll be taking a look at that. And also, we're going to take a look at the storm reports that came in this afternoon, and also the Storm Prediction Center overview of some severe weather that occurred this afternoon as well. Alright, if you're a new viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button today and you're in. You get my forecast twice per day unless something comes up. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. And like I said, don't forget to smash that subscribe button before you leave this video. Alright, if you like my daily forecast content, go ahead and smash it so that way you get my forecast, like I said, twice per day unless something comes up. Alright, well, as you can see here, we got quiet conditions over southeast Canada and also down pretty much the entire east coast of the United States from New Brunswick, also down through Maine, all the way back west to Indiana, all the way back down to southeast Texas, all the way as far east as the Florida Keys, Florida region as well, the Bahamas, even Cuba, through the Carolinas, all the way back up toward the Washington, D.C. area, and also Rhode Island as well. Also across portions of southern and southwestern Canada, also through portions of the Dakotas, also into Colorado, back into Nevada, California, Gulf of California, also into Arizona, and also into northern and central Mexico as well. Alright, as you can see here, we got showers and thunderstorms extending up here in portions of southeast Canada, extending through the Great Lakes region, also back into Minnesota, through Nebraska, all the way back as far southwest as New Mexico, and also a little bit in southeastern Utah, southwestern portion of Colorado, down into northern Mexico as well, through Texas, all the way back to Illinois, and also into Michigan. In the red slashed area over Texas and Oklahoma, we have some flash flooding and heavy rain possible in that region. Also, we have some mixed precipitation over here in portion of northern New Mexico, also in the portion of Colorado. Same over here through the Dakotas, all the way back as far west as Oregon and Washington State. And also, we have some heavy snow possible over portion of Washington State, also over portion of Montana. And we just have some regular snow falling across portions of southern Canada, through Montana, Idaho, and also in the northwestern North Dakota. And all of this activity is for your Tuesday. Alright, we're moving on to your Wednesday forecast now. As you can see, we got quiet conditions pretty much over southeast, southern, and central Canada. Also through portions of New Brunswick, also down into portions of Maine, also over toward Nova Scotia, and then pretty much down the eastern seaboard as well, all the way down into northern and central Florida, including the Florida Keys, Cuba, and also into the Bahamas as well, far west of Louisiana, Arkansas, southeast Missouri, and southern portion of Illinois, Indiana as well, and also Ohio. Also more dry conditions expected over portion of Minnesota through South Dakota, all the way back into portion of Arizona, southern California, Gulf of California, and central and southern portions of Mexico. Alright, we got some shower activity up here in portions of New Brunswick, also through Maine, all the way back into southeast Canada, toward Toronto, Ottawa, and also Montreal, Canada regions as well. Also, we got showers and storms extending into portions of the Great Lakes region through Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, all the way back down in northern Mexico. Also northeast Mexico through all of Texas, also into Missouri and Illinois. We're in the red slashed area with Texas and Oklahoma. We have some flash flooding and heavy rain possible in that region. Also, we have some showers up here around the northern Great Lakes, also into southern Canada and also northern Minnesota. And also, we have some shower activity around coastal areas of Oregon and a portion of California. Then we got mixed precipitation extending from southern Canada through the Dakotas, also into Wyoming, through Utah, Nevada, northern California, all the way back into Washington State. Some heavy snow possible over Washington State. Same over here in portion of Wyoming, New Mexico, over towards the North Dakota region as well. Some snow falling elsewhere in Idaho and also into Montana and southern Canada. And all of this activity is for your Wednesday. All right, here's a little tropical update for you. As you can see here is Hurricane Tammy. Look like some dry air is trying to punch into the south. It has weakened down to a little, I think, 75 miles per hour storm. It will continue probably weakening as the waters, as more Tammy moves over to cooler waters. Tammy will begin to weaken back to a tropical storm. But right now we're going to take a look at the National Hurricane Center cone in just a few minutes. But as you can see, it's still well pretty wrapped, rain wrapped pretty well on the north side of the system at this time. All right, let's move on to the righty. As you can see here's the tropical storm force winds. In the yellow here's the hurricane force winds behind the X. To the Hurricane Center, they keep it as a hurricane all the way through 2 a.m. Thursday, but I would not be surprised to see it drop back to a tropical storm since there's some dry air punching into the system and it has weakened down to 75 miles an hour. It will continue to move over a little bit cooler water, so I would not be surprised to see this thing maybe drop back to a tropical storm and then maybe a depression as it moves across Bermuda. Something I'll continue to monitor as well. Alright, if you look, tracking the system at home, it's located in latitude 22.3 north, longitude 63.6 west, maximum sustained winds are 75 miles an hour with higher gusts, moving into the north-northeast at 7 miles per hour. Alright, let's take a look at some spaghetti-o models here. Alright, according to the National Hurricane Center models, most of them go up to the northeast, then eventually kind of to the northwest a little bit, and then tracking back out to sea. Now, most of the models now are starting to try to shift it back to the east. There's only a few taking it back to the west, so we'll have to monitor that still continually because these things can turn back to the west. Let's take a look at the Let's take a look at the GFS ensembles here. Alright, you can see here's the center of the storm. Keeps it going up here. It kind of goes along with that National Hurricane Center spaghetti-o models. Turns it back to the east. A lot of them takes it to the east. We still got some that takes it back to the west. Some takes it to the west and then turn it right along the South Carolina, well, North Carolina coast and then out to sea. Some backs it back into the Caribbean Sea, Northwest Caribbean Sea, the southern Gulf of Mexico, also into Florida. That's why I said we're going to have to monitor that very closely unless things change in the computer model run. Let's take a look at the GEPS ensembles. Here's the center of the storm, takes it to the northeast, then eventually back to the west, and then kind of back to the southwest toward the Bahamas. Most of these models here has shifted back to the west. There's only a handful of models send it back out to sea. So that's why I said anybody from the Cuba all the way to the Florida Keys, east coast of Florida, maybe even Georgia, South Carolina, you need to monitor this system very closely just in case it wants to take a turn back to the west, like the way I'm thinking, and these models are too. So we'll keep eye on that there and see what happened. I know the GFS model last night, I looked at it. It showed it backing back down into the Caribbean Sea and then kind of meandering around down here, and then it kind of moved on over into Mexico. But like I said, we'll have to continue to monitor these situations very closely. I know I looked at it earlier this afternoon, the GFS model. It brought it back to the west and it took it all back to the northeast. But anyway, I'll be here to monitor the situation and let's see what happens. Let's take a look at the intensity guidance of this system. Alright, you can see here it's got about 70 knot winds. It goes 75 miles per hour. It kind of weakens it down almost to a tropical storm. It shoots it back into a hurricane, and then it kind of finally drops off to a tropical depression over the next 5 days. That's why the National Hurricane Center has got it going into a tropical storm by the about 5 to 6 day time frame. All right, now let's take a look at newly formed Tropical Depression 21. This formed this afternoon at 5 p.m. because it was not there earlier this afternoon when I looked at it. As you can see, 21 looks pretty well organized. Could it become a tropical storm? Possibly, but right now it's the low pressure system pretty close to land, and it should make landfall. I think this is the center rotation here. Look like it's already made landfall. But anyway, I'll look at that on the charts here in a minute. But as you slowly moving to the west. But anyway, we did make it to Tropical Storm 20. We did make it to the number 21. So we done had 21 named storm for the Atlantic hurricane season so far. So, and we still got more time to go because it runs until November the 30th. All right, let's take a look at the forecast cone here. It's got a little bit of information from the National Hurricane Center. As you can see, here's the 5 p.m. advisory right here, and then it moves into a depression over Nicaragua. So if you're in this area here, you need to be on the lookout for some tropical rains to fall, maybe a little bit of gusty wind, and also some heavy rainfall as well. Alright, if you're tracking this system home, it's located near latitude 11.6 north, longitude 83.5 west, maximum sustained winds are at 30 miles an hour with higher gusts, and moving this to the west at 5 miles per hour, so it's not moving that fast. Classified as a tropical depression with winds of 39 miles per hour or less. Alright, should be coming up here shortly. Here it is. Alright, here's the current position of the storm. Takes across Nicaragua and then back into through Central America into the Eastern Pacific as it continues to ride the coastline of Mexico there as well. Alright, it just kind of dissipates it. But anyway, okay, as you can see, it's got about 25 knot winds equal to 30 miles per hour. Still remains a tropical depression. And then there it is right there. It goes into a tropical storm. The reason it's doing that is because it's going into the Eastern Pacific. It has a chance to spin up into a tropical storm over in the East Central Pacific Ocean. I'll have on to the watches, warning, and advisory map for your locating across the nation. And here's that winter storm I was talking about in the Pacific Northwest, also in the Dakotas as well. As you can see, we got winter storm watches in effect for North Dakota, back into Montana, Idaho, and also we have winter storm warnings also in effect for Montana, ports of Idaho, and also winter storm watches also in effect there for Wyoming, northwestern Wyoming as well. Winter weather advisory is also in effect for ports of Idaho and also into Washington and Oregon states. And a winter storm warning also remains in effect for northern portions of Washington state as well. We got some special weather statements up here for you guys in Minnesota and also North Dakota. Also down into portions of Texas. Flood watches also been posted for portions of Oklahoma and also North Texas. frost advisories have been posted for areas of Ohio, also into North Carolina, through Virginia, all the way up into portions of the Boston area. We have a couple counties there in Virginia may be under a freeze warning as well. We have a special weather statement for you guys there in portions of northwestern Georgia. Small craft advisory for up here near the Boston area. Also same down here around the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Same for the central and southern portions of Florida. Big Bend area of Florida, Florida Keys, and also South Texas as well. Same over here in portions of California all the way to Washington State, with a few storm warnings there as well. Gale warnings in effect there as well. Alright, Hawaii and Chain Island looks okay. We still got those winter storm warnings for Alaska, winter weather advisories there as well. And also we got those gale warnings, also storm warnings, and also small craft advisories around the coastal areas of Alaska. Winter weather advisory to the north, and a freezing spray warning in effect for northern Alaska as well. Alright, now let's move on to the storm. Also in Montana, and also up into Michigan as well. We have general thunderstorms in the light of green areas, then from South Dakota, back to Nevada, Minnesota, and Wisconsin region as well, and also down in southwestern Texas. Alright, the convective outlook, you can see a little bit better. That's what I just discussed. Current watches under an effect. MDS under an effect. Storm reports, we had 0 tornado reports. So that's good news. Hail reports, we had 6 of them. They took place over here in southern Wisconsin. We had 0 large, so that brought the total number to 6. Would not be surprised maybe see maybe 2 or 3 more added to the list before the evening is wore. The afternoon and evening is wore out. Alright, now let's move on to the fire weather. No areas of fire weather discussed. And that concludes today's video. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope everybody continue to stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. And we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Monday evening, folks. Take care.